What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we'll be going over maybe the most important thing to know when you have your auction draft, and that is that AAV is fake. So first, what is AAV? AAV simply stands for the average auction value of a player. So it's how much a player goes for on average. In a snake draft, this would be ADP, which is average draft position. You'll see this in your drafts. It shows up to the left of the player's name in ESPN. And it can vary from site to site, but generally it's pretty consistent. Also, AAV will change throughout the summer or the preseason leading up until week 1. Typically on ESPN, I think they update every Monday. So here's why I need to stop using, for the most part, AAV. The majority of your league will most likely base their entire bid strategy on the AAV that they see, which comes from those sites such as ESPN or Yahoo. AAV is like ADP in a snake draft. However, in a auction draft, players or your league mates won't really stray away from AAV like they would in a typical snake draft. So how do we combat this? So the first step that I recommend is to have some type of resource, a draft sheet, a par sheet, any type of resource that has predetermined values by yourself or someone you trust. If you're just using the player's values in ESPN, then you're probably not going to be super successful. I recommend downloading a copy of my free cheat sheet, links in the description below. This has values for players that I create. If you don't like them, just change them. It'll auto-calculate, the low and the high you should spend for each player. It's a great resource to have. Now we're going to get into the main example of how this works in your draft. So let's say we have player A. Player A has an AAV, or an average auction value, of $20. Most of your league mates are gonna assume that that is his concrete value. You value him at $30. You think he's a better player than he's currently ranked or priced. Let's say he gets nominated, the bidding happens, and you win him for $25. So according to your league mates and ESPN, you paid $5 more than his AAV. You overpaid by $5. However, you actually underpaid by $5 since you valued him at $30. You need to understand that your value on a player, your AAV on a player, is more important than their actual average auction value to an extent. Now, keep the main thing. You want to save money whenever possible in your draft. This doesn't mean that you should instantly bid on player A for $25 as soon as he's nominated. Your league mates will most likely base their maximum they'll pay for that player on their predetermined AAV, which is $20. So you got a decent shot of only having to pay $1 or $2 more than the AAV to get that player. Think of it like a snake draft. If you go into it with the old approach of the site's AAV and rankings are always correct, what's the point in even drafting? The computer will just take the best available player. Also, it's not rare for someone to reach and draft a player higher than their ADP in a snake draft. So next time you go into your auction draft, make sure that you have predetermined values and you don't bid solely on the AAV that you see on the ESPN screen. Use your values. As always, my cheat sheet is free. Link in the description below. Thank you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.